Okay, you guys, we're going to watch our home dog, Donald Trump. Trump makes me hump. We're gonna watch our boy Donald Trump sign an executive order. We're going to put in some of the headphones real quick. And let's do it, man. You guys ready? Y'all ready for this? Down, 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 down. Give me just a few more seconds. Getting everything pulled up real quick and trying to at least. Here we go. Trump makes me hump. Trump makes me hump. We're gonna watch this here in just a second, though. Our boy DT. There we go. You know, we're a mega channel. Absolutely. Give me just a few moments, you guys, getting everything squared away here. All right, we're almost there, everybody. We're almost there. We're getting here. We're getting closer. I feel like I'm missing something. Hold on, you guys. Ah, here we go. I figured it out, dude. I figured it out. We got somebody to vote on here. Is anybody voting in the poll? Tap it with your tip. Tap it with your tip. Tap it with your tip. All right, so we're ready to do the show. About as ready as we can be. Let's do it. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. Really appreciate it. Let's go. Let's see. Come on, where's the start, man? Okay, I think it starts here. All right, I think it starts in just a second. Hold on. We're almost there, folks. We're almost there. Our home dog.
This was a meeting set up very proudly by us, having to do with voter integrity and
the goat,
mail-in
dude.
ballots and stopping the massive cheating that's gone on. And so we're going to be signing an executive order. It's, I believe it's foolproof, and maybe it'll be tested, maybe it won't. I think it's very obvious what's said. And I'll ask Will Scharf to start off, attorney, a great talent, a very brilliant young man, and if you could discuss it, and then I'm going to ask Howard Lutnick to say a few words, and then I'm going to sign it, and we'll take a couple of questions. Okay? Thank you.
Mr. President, as you said, you have in front of you an executive order that deals with a number of issues relating to election integrity. As you've consistently identified, two of the biggest problems we have with election integrity in this country are, one, inaccurate voter rolls that allow ineligible people to vote in various federal and state elections all over the country. And secondarily, you've consistently identified that vote by mail in this country has become rife with fraud. People returning ballots who aren't eligible to return ballots, ballots being sent to people who aren't confirmed to be eligible voters. So,
oh yeah, no, I honestly believe it's rife with fraud. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
what this executive order is going to do
Hunted.
is, one, We're going to take federal data. We're going to ensure that each state's election officials are provided with a comprehensive view of who the eligible voters in their jurisdiction actually are, allowing them to properly verify that everybody voting in their elections is legally able to vote.
See, and I think that's been a big problem, is I actually believe, I don't want to say my actual viewpoint on this because I feel like I'm going to get banned. So I'm not going to say my viewpoint. I'm going to let Trump speak for me on this one just because Trump's the man. Trump is signing an executive order preventing fraud in elections. That's nice. I don't know how it works.
Small wiener gang.
But I'm excited about it. Hey, give a shout out to V4MP1. Thank you for subscribing, my brony bro. Thank you, man. Everybody give a warm shout out to V4MP1 for subscribing. Let's put your name back up on the board.
Small wiener gang.
Thank you for joining the Small Wiener Gang. Hell yeah, dude. Let's go. Small Wiener Gang, dude. But yeah, we're at 9,314 subs. Once again, we're at 9,314 subscribers. We're trying to get to 9,400 before the end of the night. We'll see what we can pull off tonight. I'm hoping we can. But we're going to do it, man. We're going to find a way. We're going to find a way. It's okay to be gay.
And then it orders the Postmaster General and the U.S. Postal Service to take bold new measures to verify that ballots both being sent to people are being sent to people who are eligible to vote, and then the ballots being returned or being properly returned by eligible voters only. And we believe that combined, the measures in this executive order will help secure elections in the future and ensure that the many abuses of our election system in the past.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it. We try to be the strongest page out there. We try to be the... I don't think we're the most informed page in the world. We're not the most informed show in the world, but we do our best to give our honest opinions on things. If something seems stupid, I'm going to say it's stupid. You know? The cuckery.
Aren't repeated in future elections.
Right? Howard?
So the fundamentals of our democracy are built on voter integrity, right? We all need it. You've said it time and time again.
Okay, Howard Lucknick, I don't want to hear from you, dude. I'm creeped out, but Howard Lucknick just gives me the heebie-jeebies, bro. I am not a fan of Howard Lucknick at all.
It's a total agreement amongst everybody. So here's the idea. The states, right, run these elections. They will, if they want to use the U.S. mail, U.S. Postal Service, they're going to get a code, a barcode from the U.S. Postal Service, and they're going to put that on the envelope, and we will have one envelope per vote. None of this time where we have no idea, there's no observers to mail, there's no envelopes, there's no certainty. That's
yeah, I've always been sketched out by mail-in voting, you know? I personally believe that Oregon is far more red than it is blue. I really do believe that Oregon is far more red than it is blue. And I think we're going to get a real surprise in the governor race. I honestly believe that Chris Dudley's going to win the Republican primary. That's what I believe. Mainly because he's my favorite NBA player of all time. So, well, not my favorite, but he's one of my faves. Chris Dudley's the man.
all going to go away, and what the president is doing today is he's going to make sure that mail-in ballots are safe, secure, and accurate, and will have a clear distinction. If you voted by mail, you will have it on the envelope. Obviously not on the ballot, but on the envelope. So we will know 1 million mail-in ballots. There'll be 1 million envelopes, and you'll be able to know exactly, correctly, that citizens voted.
And this came up with some great legal minds. They looked at the various documents and everything that was going on, because the cheating on mail-in voting is legendary. It's horrible what's going on. And it's very clearly covered, very, very clearly.
If you guys think that Donald Trump's the man, and if you guys think that this executive order may help, I think it may help, hopefully, end mail-in voting. I want to see something that ends mail-in voting, dude. I think it's fraudulent. It feels fraudulent to me. A lot of countries don't even do mail-in ballots. A lot of other countries don't do mail-in ballots because they know it's stupid and they know it's rife with cheating. So I don't know. I'm in agreement with Trump on it, man. I think mail-in ballots equals cheating. That's what I believe. Double tap the screen to like the stream, though. Once again, double tap the screen to like the stream. It does help the channel grow, and it makes me feel like I got a bigger dong than I actually do.
So I think this will help a lot with elections. We'd like to have voter ID. We'd like to have proof of citizenship, and that'll be...
It's just rife with... honestly, I think that... I believe firmly that mail-in voting, I mean, there's a reason that other countries don't do it. It's rife with cheating. Well, okay, so riddle me this, Green Dog 2525. Why don't other countries do mail-in ballots? Why are other countries opposed to doing mail-in ballots? Tell me, why are other countries opposed to mail-in ballots? Why don't other countries do what we do?
Be another subject for
freaking crazy, dude.
We're working on that. You would think it would be easy. It's a 98% issue for Republicans. It's 86%. The thing just came out, a poll, and it's 86% with Republicans and Democrats, not leaders, because the leaders of the Democrats cheat. And the only people that don't want to do voter ID are people that cheat. There's no other reason for it. Proof of...
100%, dude. Dude, Trump's the man. If you guys think that Trump's the man, double tap the screen to like the stream. Tap the subscribe button because it does help the channel grow. But yeah, double tap the screen to like the stream. Let's go, dude. I'm a Trump fanboy. I'll admit it. I'm a Trump fan, dude. I'm a huge fan of the DT, man. I love Donald Trump. I think he's the man. I think he's the GOAT. Let's go, dude. Let's go.
Citizenship, they want to be able to cheat. There's no reason. They have all sorts of reasons, excuses, but it's all nonsense. They want to cheat. But the Democrats themselves are very high. It's a very positive, very, very good thing. The Democrat voters.
Double tap the screen to like the stream. Oh, yeah, double tap the screen to like the stream. Double tap the screen to like the stream. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Double tap the screen to like the stream. Double tap the screen to like the stream. Oh, yeah. Double tap the screen to like the stream. It helps us grow.
Democrat leaders, guys like Schumer, who are corrupt, they want to use it for cheating because their policy is so bad. Think of their policy, open borders for everybody, where people pour into our country from countries all over the world. Think of that. You look at, just take any issue, take anything. Everything they have is so crazy. But the fact that they don't want to sign voter ID is another issue. It's a big issue. The fact that they don't have...
What the?
Proof of citizenship, that they want transgender for everybody, that they want men in women's sports. So the only way, they assume, the only way they can win is to cheat. When you have men in women's sports, it's fine, it's wonderful. By the way, I worked very hard with the Olympic Committee and got that terminated.
Thank you for that information, Annie. That's fascinating stuff.
For the Olympics, very nice. Now, girls won't have to get beat up in the boxing ring like they did last time. If you saw those fights, two people that transitioned beat the hell out of everyone, out of other people, women. It was not a pretty sight to watch. So I worked very hard with the Olympic Committee, and we were able to get that out. So the Olympics will not have men in women's sports.
Thank freaking goodness, man. You get him, Don. Dude, that's honestly incredible, dude. Let's give Trump Dog a shout out, man. Fuck yeah. No, honestly, like, that's the thing that pisses me off about the left is they can't even define what the hell a woman is. You know? That's crazy.
But these are the things that they vote on. And that's why we're having a problem with them. They don't want ICE because they don't want people to be taken out of our country that are murderers, that are drug dealers, and that are people from mental institutions, the criminally insane. These are not nice people. And it's amazing. it's not even believable. If you go back 12, 13, 15, 20 years that we even have to bring up a subject like there will be no trans mutilation. We don't want any transgender mutilization of our children. We don't want to have people pouring into our country from other countries all over the world, where prisons are opened up. All over the world, they're opened up, and they pour into our country. Murderers. 11.
Absolutely, dude. This is why we don't want Democrats to run the country, because they leave the borders open, allowing for any sort of criminals just to come through willy-nilly, having a good time, you know. Make sure you guys double tap the screen to like the stream. One more time. Double tap the screen to like the stream. That's all I'm asking.
7,888 murders. Think of that. We got many of them out. And by the way, Washington, D.C. just set a new record for safety. And I'm sure you know that because, Peter, when you walk down the street, you're not mugged lately. But it's a very safe city now. We took great pains to make it that way, but it actually happened pretty quickly. Within 3 months, it was good. Within 4 months, it was very good. Within 5 months, it was great. Now it's better than it ever was. And so Washington, D.C. is now considered a very, very safe city. We removed almost 4,000 people, just so you understand. You know, an interesting stat is that 2% of the people create more than 90% of the crime. And the good thing...
2% of the people create 90% of the crime. Who do you think he's referring to, you guys? I think I know. I'm afraid to say it because... But I am afraid to say it because you never know what YouTube will ban you for. But I think we know the 2% committing 90% of all the crimes. Jesus Christ. That's crazy. That blows my mind. Those statistics blow my mind sometimes. If you guys can, though, double tap the screen to like the stream. One more time, if you guys can, double tap the screen to like the stream. Let's go, dude. Oh, I support Donald Trump completely. 100%, dude. I think Trump's the man. If you guys think that Trump's the GOAT, the greatest president of all time, tap the subscribe button. If you guys want JD Vance 2028, please subscribe to the channel. Let's go, dude. I love JD Vance, dude. JD's the man, dude. Dude, I'm a Trump fan, dude. I'm a Trump fanboy, and I'm not apologizing for it. Hell no. But make sure you guys double tap the screen to like the stream. Let's go.
The thing about that is when you get rid of 2%, it's not that many. You don't have a lot of crime. But Washington, D.C., we're very proud of. We're very proud of Memphis, Tennessee, and Louisiana. New Orleans is unbelievable. They're the safest. They just finished their Mardi Gras.
Oh, we're trying to get to 100 likes before the stream ends. 100 likes before the stream ends. So don't forget to double tap the screen to like the stream. Once again, double tap the screen to like the stream. Let's go.
They had the safest Mardi Gras in 58 years. The governor just called me. Jeff Landry just called me. He said, it's the safest Mardi Gras in 58 years because of us. And
they had the safest Mardi Gras in 58 years. That is actually shocking. Mardi Gras sounds like a fucking free-for-all. I've never been, but it sounds like a free-for-all to me. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Nah, Trump's the greatest of all time, bro. Hey, I'm a fanboy. I'm a fanboy of Donald Trump, and I'm not apologizing for it. I'm not apologizing for it, man. Donald Trump's the GOAT, dude. Sorry. Not sorry.
Really
I'm not sorry.
should call and
Hey, if you guys think that Trump's the man, double tap the screen to like the stream. And if you guys also think that JD Vance needs to be the president in 2028 or Marco Rubio, I'm cool with either. Tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. Let's go. Let's go.
we'd like help. New York should call. They've had a lot of problems that we want help.
Dude, New York is cooked under Mom Donnie. Dude, New York is absolutely cooked under Mom Donnie. Mob Donnie, whatever the hell his name is. Oh, man. He's terrible. Trump's the man. Mob Donnie sucks. But yeah, double tap the screen to like the stream, everybody. Double tap the screen to like the stream. Let's go.
Los Angeles should call, and probably will. I think they have to. Now, we're going to have to do something when it comes World Cup time, and we're going to have to force ourselves upon them, which we have the right to do, because we don't want to have any crime. We don't want to have any problems for the Olympics and the World Cup, and even for 250. So with all of that, I'm very happy to be signing the voter integrity, and I think it's going to be really great. So if you don't mind, I will take some time, and I'll make this signature absolutely perfect. So it looks very good. So far, so good.
The GOAT, dude, he just signed it in. He just signed it in, bro. Hell yeah, dude. Dude, honestly, hearing that pen hit the paper, hearing that, I don't know if it's like a Sharpie that he's using or what sort of ink he's using, but man, when I hear that executive order get signed by Trump, dude, dude, I get so moist. Double tap the screen to like the stream, though, you guys. Double tap the screen to like the stream. Let's go, dude. Trump's the man. Trump daddy. Trump daddy. Trump daddy, dude. Trump daddy, Trump daddy, Trump daddy, Trump daddy, daddy, Trump daddy, Trump. Trump is the man. Trump is the man. Trump is the man with the plan. Oh, Trump is the GOAT, you know what I mean? Trump is the man. Let's go, let's go. If you think Trump's the man, tap the like button. If you think Trump's the GOAT, tap the subscribe button. If you think Trump's the GOAT, oh yeah. Everybody loves these woke-ass people. No, the woke-ass people suck. Trump is making all these woke people look like cucks.
Okay, so that's a big deal. Very proud of it. And I think, I don't know how it can be challenged. You'll probably challenge it. You may find a rogue judge. You get a lot of rogue judges. Very bad people, very bad judges. But that's the only way that can be changed, and hopefully we'll win on appeal if it is, but I don't see how anybody can challenge it. I don't see how they can challenge it.
Trump's the man, dude. He's putting those executive orders to use. He's putting that. I'm glad. He's getting shit done, bro. He's getting shit done. And here's the thing. Trump legitimately wants to do what's best for America. That is his goal. And by the way, Trump does consult with other people. He consults with his staff consistently. He is the greatest president of all time, and I don't care what any of you woke people say. He's the GOAT, dude. Greatest prez of all time.
And remember, it's about voter integrity. We want to have honest voting in our country, because if you don't have honest voting, you can't have really a nation, if you want to know the truth. Howard, I'll give that to you. Do you have any questions, please?
Yes, Mr. President. As you know, there's issues right now with DHS not being funded. Coast Guard is one of them, which is very important, especially for things going on with Strait of Hormuz and here in our own country. You have the power to transfer control from the Department of Homeland Security to the Navy. Are you considering doing that?
No, I have a lot of powers to do things, and we use the powers where appropriate. Sometimes you don't have to use those powers. You know, they're a little severe. And then people accuse me of being a king. You see, the king, this is the new one. They
always try to say, yeah, he's not a king, dude. He's not a dictator. That's the thing. They want to keep calling him a king or a dictator and blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, he's not. He's using his executive powers thoughtfully, right? He's doing it the right way, man. And I know that you Democrats are pissed because you're like, you guys don't want to see Trump do anything. That's why a lot of you liberals are pissed. You don't want to see Trump do a damn thing because that's what you guys are good at, doing nothing. All the liberals out there are just good at doing nothing and being lazy. That's the problem. Yeah. Friggin' liberals, man.
They've been trying for a long time, including 4 years where I was out of office watching how badly this country was run. But they've been trying for a long time. You know what they really are doing is they want to have people coming into our country. They want to have open borders. They want to have criminals coming into our country. They want to have people unchecked, unvetted, coming into our country that you can look at them and say, this is not good. And that's what happened. They allowed 25 million people into our country. Many of those people were criminals. Many of them were drug dealers and murderers and people that were let out of mental institutions, prison populations in some countries. The Congo, almost its entire prison population was allowed to come into the United States of America.
That's insane, dude. The entire prison population of the Congo, are you serious? Was allowed to come into America? And this is why we don't vote Democrat, people. This is why we don't vote. This is why I don't vote Democrat. You guys can vote for whoever you want at the end of the day, but this is why I don't vote Democrat. Democrat Party is insane. If you have Democrat next to your name, I'm not voting for you.
Many of the countries in South America, they emptied their prisons out into our country. This was under Biden. And nobody can tell me that's a good thing. And yet, they haven't changed their ways, because if they ever took power, they would open up the borders and they would let people pour in and destroy our country. So I have many powers, but I don't have to use them. I mean, only in severe cases. Yeah.
Mr. President, thank you.
Martin Lawrence 2770 says, "You should be in the mental hospital."
Yeah, we both should, Martin Lawrence, because we're talking to each other, honestly. We should, Martin Lawrence, you and I should both be in the mental hospital together. We'll hold hands and we'll listen to Nickelback together. How's that sound? The Democrat Party, man. Yeah, it's I just call it the Democrat Party because I have no respect for it. I just call it it's not even democratic. It's crazy. It's the socialist. I should be calling it the Socialist Party, to be honest. I prefer to call it the Democrat Party. I know it's the Democratic Party, but it just sounds, I just don't feel like sounding gay. So I'd rather just call them the Democrat or Demo-Rat, one or the other.
Thank you. If you
I'll start calling them the Demo-Rat Party. How does that sound?
were able to sign the executive order,
I'm not going to get corrected by some sort of keyboard warrior. Shut the hell up. Going down, you're a loot.
to pay the TSA agents, why not do the same for FEMA and other agencies within the Department of Homeland
Well,
Security?
FEMA is different because FEMA, I really believe that it's fine, but I think it's very inefficient. I think, we have smart governors, and one way to tell whether or not they're smart is how well they do. FEMA is a very expensive way of trying to put out a problem, but what I'd rather do is let the states do it and help them financially, but let the states do it. In other words, you'll have a hurricane in Florida, and people will come from Alaska. They haven't.
Dude, I think that people are going to look back on the Trump presidency and they're going to realize that he was one of the greatest of all time. They don't realize it now. A lot of the libtards don't realize it now, but they will. They will. People could say what they want about Daddy Trump, but, screw it, man. Nah, Trump is the GOAT, though. Trump is the greatest of all time, man. Straight up.
Been to Florida. By the time they get used to it, problem can be solved. So I've never been a big fan of FEMA. I like to keep it local. I like to see governors and neighboring states help each other as opposed to FEMA. FEMA is very expensive, and it really doesn't get the job done. North Carolina, they did a terrible job until
Do you remember when Joe Biden was president? You never saw him, ever. When Joe Biden was the president of the United States, it was very few and far between that you saw him do anything. Trump is constantly on camera, constantly taking questions from reporters. Donald Trump is one of the most go-getting, you can say what you want about him, but he is a go-getter. Trump is a go-getter and he takes massive actions, man. That's what I like about the guy. That's why I think he's the GOAT, dude. Trump is the greatest president of all time. Joe Biden's the worst president of all time. The second worst of all time is Jimmy Carter. And then the third worst of all time, probably George W. Bush.
became elected a second time, and I went and we had that tremendous water flood. There was a water hurricane, the likes of which nobody has seen. Land areas that never had lakes all of a sudden had lakes that you couldn't even get to it. And actually, we were helped by Elon Musk with the communication, with his great communication system that worked very well. We were very lucky, saved a lot of lives. But no, we got to do things right, and if you don't do them right, we shouldn't do them at all. Yeah, please.
Thank you, President Trump. After you said today that the Iran war may be ending soon, the stock market closed much higher. Do you have thoughts on that? And also, a judge just ordered you to stop construction of the ballroom. Are you planning to stop?
Well, we'll appeal that, but it's not. I don't know. It's basically. I mean, I wrote a part of his opinion, but basically he's saying I need congressional approval, and he's so wrong. This is being financed privately. It's a donation that's being given by companies, very rich people.
Yeah, so the companies are doing this. There's no funding that's coming from Congress to make this happen, so the judge's ruling is inaccurate.
People, so that for 150 years they've wanted a ballroom here. We're going to have the finest ballroom, I believe, anywhere in the world. And he said we need congressional approval. Well,
honestly, a ballroom in the White House would be baller. That'd be fucking sick, dude.
they don't get congressional approval from the White House. When they do things, they don't, especially when you don't, we didn't ask for any tax money. We have no tax. This is taxpayer free. We have no taxpayer putting up 10 cents. And I see right here, I just wrote it out. He said, we need congressional approval. Well, we built many things at the White House over the years. They don't get congressional approval when they build in the White House. It's totally separate. And especially when it's...
Sounds like a woke judge. It sounds like a piece of crap woke judge who's just trying to flex his bureaucratic muscles. Yeah, screw the woke judge, dude. Hell yeah. No, dude, Trump's the man. I'm tired of these wokies trying to stop my boy, dude. All the wokes. No, Donald Trump's the man, dude. Donald Trump is the GOAT. I think you guys know that Donald Trump is the man, right? Does anybody know that Donald Trump is the man? Just saying. He is the GOAT. Greatest president of all time, man. You know it. I know it. The American people know it. No, Isaiah. Dude, Trump's the man, bro. Look, Trump is the GOAT. Lincoln is the second best president of all time. Third best is George Washington. I think you know I'm right. All right, give me a few moments, you guys. I'm just going to step away for a moment. Just double tap the screen to like the stream and also tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow, so don't forget to subscribe in the upper right-hand corner. Let's go. Let's go. All right, my brony bros, one moment. Oh, yeah. All right, let's react to the rest of my boy DT. All right, thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button. It really does help the channel grow. Let's keep going.
Donation. I mean, the Ballroom is a donation. It's gotten great reviews. People love it. And presidents for 150 years have wanted this ballroom to be built, because when we have President Xi or other presidents or prime ministers coming, we don't have a big room. We have the East Room, which is very small. And he said we need congressional approval. He also said, but this is positive for us, I'm allowed, that meaning we are allowed to continue building as necessary to, let's see, what is that? To cover the safety and security of the White House and its grounds. So it says here very carefully, the safety and security have to be protected of the White House grounds. Well, that's what we're doing, because everything's bulletproof glass, et cetera, including the ballroom.
Dude, Trump is doing all the right stuff. The judges are just pissed that he's making a ballroom. The leftist partisan judges are trying to prevent the construction of the ballroom by basically intimidating Trump with stupid laws. Trump's the man. Trump doesn't need to listen to these people. Finish the ballroom, man. I can't wait to see the ballroom. Trump is leaving an impact on the White House. It's looking good, dude. By the way, we're at 9,317 subs, dude. Oh, my God. So once again, we're at 9,317 subscribers on the channel. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being participants in the channel. But yeah, Trump's the man. Trump is the GOAT, dude. What can I say?
And then it goes,
you know he's the man, right?
construction,
You know he's the man.
and all of the things necessary. It says personal safety of the president and his staff are a part of that. So it talks about that we're allowed to continue building. In other words, he put an order on, and even that he gave 14 days. We don't need it, because that's what we're doing. He's allowed to continue building as necessary. And when it talks about the safety and security of the White House and its grounds. So just so you know, I wrote some of the thing down. We have a drone-proof roof, and it talks about the president and his staff. Well, we don't have a lot of bulletproof glass. The White House was built a long time ago. This has the highest level of, in fact, they call this the glass, it's bulletproof and it's ballistic proof. It's very thick. It's like that.
Damn, dude, that's fucking pimp. Dude, Trump's the man, dude. Trump makes me hump. Trump makes me hump. Trump makes me hump. Trump makes me hump. I love it, man. But yeah, Trump's the man, dude. I know that you guys don't believe that. We're at 9,317 subs, by the way. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for taking the time to subscribe to the channel, though. The more subscribers we get, the better. But let's do Trump makes me hump. Trump makes me hump. Bulletproof, bulletproof. Yeah, dude. I love the bulletproof glass feature. So it's like, dude, he's taking in the safety and security of everybody, making sure that the glass is bulletproof. This is amazing, dude. Privately funded, not publicly funded. So we, the taxpayers, are not actually paying for the ballroom. This is being paid for by other companies. I honestly love the ballroom. I think the whole idea of a ballroom, not just the idea, but the implementation of it in the White House, I think is like the coolest thing ever, dude. This is so fucking pimp.
And it's going 45 feet high, and every window is covered, every door is covered. The roof is drone-proof. We have secure air handling systems. You know, bad things happen in the air if you have bad people. We have bio defense all over. We have secure telecommunications and communications all over. We have bomb shelters that we're building. We have a hospital and very major medical facilities that we're building. We have all of these things. So that's called I'm allowed to continue building as necessary. So think of that.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I think the only reason people are against the ballroom is because Trump is doing it. Could you imagine if Barack Obama wanted to build the ballroom? I'm sure the right would actually be pissed about it, but I'm pretty sure the left would be fine with it. Because the left because leftists let Obama do whatever the hell he wanted. And because I think Obama might have been the most incompetent president we've ever had. No, Joe Biden. I do believe that Barack Obama is the fourth worst president we've ever had.
For the safety of the president. So we have all these things. So on that, we're okay. Where he's totally wrong, and he made a statement that's fine. But I'll give you an example. You have right here $300 to $400 million, depending on finishes. If I use very expensive marble, if I use very expensive wall coatings, if I could bring it up to 400. Otherwise, we're right now ahead of schedule. We're under budget. But depending on finishes, from $300 to $400 million are being given by great people, people that you all know. Rich people, rich companies, big companies. They wanted to see this built because every president, literally for 150 years, has needed a space like this. Many of you have gone to the tent when we have a president of a big country or somebody being honored of great distinction, and they sit in a tent, and if it rains, you get soaked because the grass gets wet here very fast. It's a wet area. They used to call it a wetland, but I guess they don't do that for the White House, but it's essentially a wetland. And when it rains, you're in trouble. The water can go up to 3 to 4 inches over their shoes. It's not a good feeling for who was Prince Charles, who will be here next couple of weeks, is King Charles, who's a great guy. We don't want him to sit in a pool of water. And they've been.
I think he said Prince Charles. King Charles, dude, hell yeah. Let's see. Give me one more moment, folks. I'm trying to figure out something. I'm trying to troubleshoot. Technological issue. I think I may have figured out the technological issue. One moment. All right, now we're back. Sorry about that. Okay.
Been wanting this for 150 years, and we're building it, and it's covered perfectly. What's not covered perfectly is the fact that the judge said we need congressional approval.
Why would they need he doesn't need congressional approval. If it's being funded privately, there's no need for congressional approval.
Things have been built in the White House. They haven't gotten congressional approval, especially when the money is being not put up by the taxpayer. The taxpayer's not putting up a dime. This building was necessary for many years by the fact that I've built many ballrooms, and I built many things, and I know how to build. I'm not building the Federal Reserve where the guy's spending $4 billion for a tiny little building. $4 billion for the Federal Reserve building. That contractor is going to...
$4 billion for the Federal Reserve building? That's insane. Dude, the Federal Reserve is such a freaking scam, dude.
Be one of the richest men anywhere in the world after he finishes the Federal Reserve. The man is totally incompetent. Jerome, too late, Powell is totally incompetent.
Jerome fucking Powell, dude. Not a fan of Jerome Powell.
And he's got to get out of office pretty fast. He's doing a bad job, but he's also done a bad job in shepherding the construction of that building. Do you know they ripped down a part of that building, and it was they say it's one of the nicest buildings in Washington. They ripped it down. So we feel, and we don't feel, we know that congressional approval is not necessary to put up a ballroom. And many things have been built on the site, they've never gotten congressional approval. And especially when the money is all put up. This is all donations by people that love our country, that love the White House, and that feel...
Oh, you guys, don't forget to double tap the screen to like the stream. One more time, double tap the screen to like the stream. Let's keep going, man. This is getting sexy.
It was very necessary.
Mr. President, a couple of questions for you on Iran, but first one that affects
Yeah.
gas prices.
Here we go.
Today they hit $4.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. And we have a country that's not going to be throwing a nuclear weapon at us in 6 months.
Of course, but Americans are feeling the effects in the interim of this
And they're also
operation.
feeling a lot safer.
What is the plan to bring them back down?
Yeah, I mean, I feel safe. I mean, seriously. I don't know. I think that he's the GOAT, dude. I think he's one of the greatest presidents we've ever had. I think people hating on him. People hating on my boy, dude. Now, I do exaggerate my love of Donald Trump. I'm a big fan of Trump, granted. But I do overly exaggerate my feelings towards Trump. I know I do like Trump quite a bit, though. I think he's the man. I do think he's one of the greatest presidents we've ever had. He's just amazing. He's just freaking the GOAT, dude.
All I have to do is leave Iran, and we'll be doing that very soon. And they'll become tumbling down. And stock prices were up today almost to a record because they know two things. Number one, we have a safe country. We had to take a little detour because we had a madman named Khomeini who sadly is no longer with us. And we had regime change already. We've knocked out all of a sudden. The roof is drone proof. Really for had a bill no longer with us. And we had regime change already. We've knocked out one regime, then we knocked out the second regime. Now we have a group of people that are very different. They're
Because Donald Trump's a freaking stud, bro.
much more reasonable, I think much less radicalized. We have had regime change. We're dealing with people that are much more rational.
Dude, there's a lot of leftists in the chat who are calling me delusional. I think that the leftists are delusional. I think a lot of you leftists in the chat just get out of here, dude. Just go have fun somewhere else, man. All the leftists do is they whine at me for loving Trump, dude. I'm Trump sexual. What the hell? Why is that such a bad thing? But if you guys can, though, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner and double tap the screen to like the stream. One more time, double tap the screen to like the stream. Let's go.
And it's amazing what we've done. We had to make a little detour. So when the stock market broke all records just a few weeks ago, when it hit 50,000 on the Dow, 7,000 on the S&P.
That is actually kind of impressive.
I said to the American people, it's time that we have to make a little detour because we have a madman that wants a nuclear weapon. And if we didn't knock him out with a B-2 bomber, we would have a nuclear weapon right now. It would have been used before today. And you may not be standing there asking that question, okay? So I think we have a country that understands that. I see CNN did a poll and they talked about voters or MAGA voters, and my poll came out at 100%. Nobody covers that poll. They had another poll where it's at 92% approval.
Yeah, us MAGA voters were 100% with Trump because you want to know why? Because we do want to see America great again, and we understand the plan. We understand the way that Trump thinks. We understand the plan. And we're backing him, man. You know, there's a little loyalty in the game, all right? There's a little bit of loyalty here. But not just loyalty. I like him. I like Trump. All right? I think Trump's the man.
I think that the people understand it. We'll be leaving very soon. And if France or some other country wants to get oil or gas, they'll go up through the strait and Hormuz Strait. They'll go right up there and they'll be able to fend for themselves. I think it'll be very safe, actually, but we have nothing to do with that. What happened?
I think the Strait of Hormuz is getting slowly more secure every day. You know, some people are saying I'm delusional for saying that, but I don't think so. I think I'm on the right track. One moment. Let's see.
Happens to the strait, we're not going to have anything to do with, because these countries, China will go up and they'll fuel up their beautiful ships and they'll leave and they'll take care of themselves. There's no reason for us to do it. We hit them hard. We got rid of a lot of the radicalized lunatics along the strait. But if they want something, but I would say that within 2 weeks, maybe 3. We're hitting them very hard. Last night we knocked out tremendous amounts of missile-making facilities. We, as you probably read or wrote,
will be gone.
We knocked out.
Weeks,
excuse me.
Pardon me for interrupting. The U.S. will be gone or done with the war?
I think with 2 or 3 weeks.
Not 3 weeks. If it is,
we'll
3
leave
weeks,
because there's no reason for us to do this. Look, problem with the strait, a guy can take a mine, drop it in the water, and say, "Oh, it's unsafe." It's not like you're taking out an army or you're taking out a country, or they can drop it. Or you can take a machine gun from the shore and shoot a few bullets at a ship, or maybe an over-the-shoulder missile, small missiles. That's not for us. That'll be for France. That'll be for whoever's using the strait. But I think when we leave, probably that's all cleared up. Today I heard tremendous numbers of ships were sailing through.
And that's a good sign, man. The more ships that are sailing through the Strait of Hormuz, the better. I could say that we're pretty much on the right path, man. I know people don't believe me, but I think the USA is on the right path, bro. No, I'm not a fan of Israel, but I do respect what they're doing to help us get rid of the Iranian regime. I think a regime change is absolutely necessary. And look, Iran is a dangerous country. Iran's government is dangerous. And their government needs to be stifled. I think you know it. I know it. The American people know it. Nah, I'm not done yet, you guys. I'm not done. I'm never done with this channel. Hell no. But no, we're on the right path with this channel. I think the only thing that's killing me right now is my voice. I'm trying to keep it steady and feeling good, man. Oh.
Negotiating with them right now. They've been, again, we have had regime change. Now, regime change was not one of the things I had as a goal. I had one goal. They will have no nuclear weapon. And that goal has been attained. They will not have nuclear weapons. But we're finishing the job. And I think within...
No, dude, I personally think the Ballroom is like the coolest, freaking most top G thing of all time. I'm a huge fan of the Ballroom, man. I can't wait to see what he does with it. I think it's going to be amazing, amazing. So no, I think Trump's on the right path with it. I can't wait to see the full-on construction here, man.
Weeks, maybe a couple of days longer.
I can't wait to see it, bro.
Do the job. but we want to knock out every single thing they have. Now, it's possible that we'll make a deal before that, because we'll hit bridges, and we've hit some. We'll hit some bridges. Got a couple of nice bridges in mind. But if they come to the table, that'll be good. But it doesn't matter whether they come or not. We've set them back. It'll take 15 to 20 years for them to rebuild what we've done.
15 to 20 years for them to rebuild what they've done, dude. I'll take it. I will take that. That's amazing. Amazing. Trump's the GOAT, dude.
To them. They have no Navy, they have no military, they have no Air Force, they have no telecommunications, they have no anti-aircraft systems, they have no leaders. You know, their leaders are all gone. That's why we have regime change. We have nice new leaders. Peter?
Thank you, President Trump. You talked about how the ballroom needs to have a drone-proof roof.
Right.
There have been drone swarms flying over sensitive military installations in the U.S. over the last couple weeks. The reports are they don't look.
Oh, shit, it cut it off, dude.
You saw the numbers that came out yesterday. New York Times, way down. Wall Street Journal, way down. 83, when people don't believe...
Oh, dude, the stream cut off too early. Darn it. Well, that's okay. Crazy, man. Crazy. Oh, shit. Okay, what's this?
The defense team for the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk now says the bullet used could not be matched to the gun Tyler Robinson allegedly shot. That's according to court documents obtained by CBS News.
No way. What?
CBS
Come
News
on.
national correspondent Carter Evans has more details.
Then he probably used another gun. Did they search the entire campus? Because it sounds like Tyler Robinson was pretending to use one gun and then actually used another gun. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you guys understand what I'm saying here? Allegedly.
It's
Allegedly.
been nearly 7 months since conservative political activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed during a Utah Valley University campus event on September 10th last year. Now, attorneys for Tyler Robinson, the man charged in Kirk's killing, are asking to delay his preliminary hearing to review a mountain of material they say could help his defense. In a new court filing, the defense claims in an ATF report summary that the agency, quote, was unable to identify the bullet recovered at autopsy to the rifle allegedly tied to Mr. Robinson.
Doesn't mean that those bullets aren't the same or that they aren't connected. It just means there isn't enough evidence there to come to a conclusion.
CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson says this is not unusual.
It is sometimes difficult to match bullets that were recovered at autopsy with bullets that are associated with a defendant's gun. And that could be based on lack of evidence and lack of markings on those bullets.
Robinson has been charged with aggravated murder in Kirk's death. He has not yet entered a plea.
Here's the thing, though. Didn't he admit in several text messages to killing Charlie Kirk? Didn't he reveal to his furry boyfriend that he killed him? I mean, I thought that happened. So what about those admissions? Why would you admit that you did those things? I don't know, man. If you guys can, though, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow. Tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Prosecutors intend to seek the death penalty.
Robinson hid the gun and told his roommate to delete incriminating text messages.
Prosecutors allege Robinson admitted to killing Kirk in those text exchanges.
Roommate.
Yeah, exactly. He admitted to killing. So it's like, can you explain the admission, please?
The one who did it, right? Robinson, I am. I'm sorry.
Prosecutors also say they have DNA evidence that connects Robinson to the killing.
Yeah, was there like, for example, was there like fingerprints on the bullet? I guess it's tough to figure out fingerprints on the bullet, but you know.
Levinson says the inability to conclusively match the bullet won't necessarily damage the prosecution's case.
The prosecution has other evidence to rely on. This does not completely undermine their case.
But thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button. If you guys can, double tap the screen to like the stream. Double tap the screen to like the stream. I really appreciate it. Hey, you guys. But yeah, you guys, make sure you guys double tap the screen to like the stream. One more time, double tap the screen to like the stream. Let's go. Tap the subscribe button. Give me a moment. Mm-hmm.
I'm Carter Evans.
Welcome back to Takeout. Lawyers for the person.
This is going to be interesting, man. I want to know. I still believe he killed Charlie Kirk, though, the Tyler Robinson kid. But let's take a look.
Accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk are asking to delay a preliminary hearing that is set for May. And here's why. Tyler Robinson's defense team, in a new development in this case, is arguing that it needs time to review alcohol, tobacco, and firearms analysis that they contend could not, that's a direct quote, could not connect a bullet fragment recovered during the autopsy of Kirk with the rifle found near the scene of the crime. Question, is this meaningful? CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson joins us now to help us answer that question. I always turn to you, Jessica, with some of our hardest legal questions. So, is this meaningful?
I don't believe so, because he could have easily used another gun. He's also admitted in a text exchange that he was the one who did it. He even admitted, didn't he admit, like, firing the rifle? Like, just because the bullet wasn't necessarily made for the rifle, couldn't the bullet still somehow be utilized? You know what I mean?
I think it's meaningful.
And the fact that he was on a roof with the gun, come on, man.
But it's not everything. What we really mean here is not that the ATF was able to rule out any connection between the bullets found at the autopsy and the bullets found in the rifle allegedly associated with Tyler Robinson. All this means is that ATF wasn't able to conclusively link the bullets in the autopsy with the bullets in the gun, again, allegedly connected to Tyler Robinson. So this just means there wasn't enough to say, yes, they are the same, this is a link. And the thing I would caution, and I understand from experts in this area, is that matching bullets can actually be a difficult business, whereas the matching the cases to the bullets, because there's more evidence that's left, there's more markings, can be easier. So I know people read this and they think, well, then they got the wrong guy. And I'm here to say, I don't think this is the end of the prosecution's case. And
I think they got the right guy. That's what I believe. I think they got the right guy on this one, man. That's what I'm thinking.
it's not, again, an explicit rule out of any connection.
But it does give an able defense team something to probe and quite possibly present as one component of reasonable doubt at trial.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and this is something that occurs in trials where sometimes the prosecution has imperfect evidence for the prosecution. And that's exactly where, as you know, the defense comes in and they say, well, I know that the prosecution has tried to build all these blocks and get you to the finish line of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, but let's look at block number 3. There's some cracks there. And isn't that enough for reasonable doubt? We should, of course, remember, if this case does in fact go to trial, that really a win for the defense is convincing one defendant that there is reasonable doubt, because the prosecution has to build up the whole case, get proof beyond a reasonable doubt, and get a unanimous verdict.
Jessica, you can't solve this problem, neither can I, but there has been quite a bit of conspiratorial conversation.
I think what makes me angry is the lack of cameras on this campus. That's what makes me angry.
Conversation about this case in some quarters of the far right in America. It's probably worth noting that this evidence, or lack thereof, does not enhance or underscore the validity of those conspiracy theories, but it probably gives them a little bit more oxygen.
You're right on all counts. We cannot solve this. And the best I think that we can do is exactly what you're asking me to do, which is just explain what this means in plain terms and not say whether or not we like this, whether or not this will be, productive. It's just, what does this mean for the case? And the thing I want to emphasize is this happens in a lot of cases where you aren't able to say for sure that there is a match of, sometimes it's bullets, sometimes it's different evidence, like scientific evidence, maybe it's DNA evidence, maybe it's cell tower evidence where it puts somebody in the general area. So, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Hold on, I'm going to take out the trash. I still believe that Tyler Robinson did it, allegedly. Oh. right, I'm back. What's up, my pink brony bros? Okay. I voted for Trump 2016, 2020, and 2024. Let's go, dude. Let's see what's going on, man.
Doesn't conclusively place them in a specific spot. So it doesn't rule it out, and it doesn't say absolutely this was that person. And I think that's really just what we need to think about with respect to this piece of evidence. Again, I know there's so much out there, and people make of this maybe something different than what it means, which is the ATF summary, we think, indicates no conclusive evidence that this is, in fact, the bullets found in the autopsy or the bullets found in the gun associated with Tyler Robinson.
You clear things up for us every single time, Jessica. My appreciation always. Thank you so much.
Get that clarity, man. Give me a moment, you guys. I'm trying to find a good video to watch at the moment. You know what I mean? The fuck? Well, I know I got to take a poo-poo here in a second. I got to take a poo-poo. Okay, we're going to see what Asmongold is talking about today. He released this about 2 hours ago. We'll BRB. I'm going to put some of the BRB. Got a poo-poo. Okay, let's see here. Whoa, where's it at? Okay, yeah, I gotta poo-poo. I gotta go poo-poo, you guys. Da poo-poo! All right, let's see here. I just got back. It took me a second to do the poo-poo. So we're going to react to a little Asman. We'll see what our boy Asman is saying. Asman Gold. Give me a second, though. I'm trying something different here. Go. Yeah, let's just do Super Chat Gold. Let's just see what happens. Let's see Super Chat Goal. Let's see. Bam, bam, bam. There we go. All right, let's watch some Asman Gould. Sorry about that. I just got back from a poo-poo. Felt good to take a poo-poo. I needed it. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But, hey, guys, we're at 9,317 subs. Once again, we're at 9,317 subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Let's watch.
Hi guys, it's me again, and today I thought we'd talk a little bit about misinformation on the internet. I thought that, I don't know, now would be a good time. So in the past 2 or 3 years, I don't know about you guys, but I have seen such a massive, dramatic, 10x multiplier amount of videos on the internet that are either
mainly from mainstream media and AI slop, but let's keep going.
they're totally fucking fake, misleading, or
I mean, mainly because AI slop exists. Let's just face it. I would say AI slop is one of the leading things in my book, but let's keep going.
anything else in between, sometimes even both. And I know I hear people sometimes say, oh, well, I don't see as many AI videos anymore. Yeah, I wonder why. And so anyway, I think this is what's happened, is that there is so much misinformation, there is so many people trying to mislead you, trying to cause you to think something that isn't true, trying to manufacture a false consensus.
Yeah, I mean, that sucks. I mean, that's where an independent mind comes in. Like, that's where, like, I just don't listen to the mainstream media, period, end of story. I just think it's full of shit. Mainly because it's just, it's ran by a bunch of gatekeepers who honestly want to keep people dumb and afraid. So, yeah. I mean, one of the reasons I'm not dumb and afraid, I mean, I'm a little afraid sometimes, but that's just because of general anxiety. But, I don't know.
It's like the dead internet theory is almost reassuring because at least that means that nobody else would be harmed. But the reality is that there are a lot of people on the internet that are being let off a fucking cliff by an AI video that didn't even exist. And so what I think the point where I think the biggest flashpoint for this for me has been the recent conflict in Iran, is that everybody is making up bullshit about this. It's like I'll watch a video and I'll be like, oh, well, what's going on here? Is this happening? Nope, it was in 2021. Oh, is this happening? Nope, that was in Ukraine. Oh, is this happening? Nope, that's actually not even fucking real. And then,
Shit.
as a bonus, is this happening? It's actually Arma 3, the video game. And so what I think has happened is that you've had so many of these different types of manipulations, and why are they happening? Why do we have all of these manipulations? Well, it's very simple. Behavior follows incentives. How many of these manipulations are not being paid? The overwhelming majority of them are being paid for this. So they're making money off of misleading people, and big surprise, you're upset that they're misleading people. Of course they are. They are following an incentive.
And this is why I don't listen to mainstream media. A lot of them are trying to push pills on people, trying to sell you Viagra, trying to sell you some sort of drug, either to make your penis work or to make your penis not work. And that's my problem. Is that, if you're dumb and afraid all the time, and you're constantly like taking in all this shit information about the world, which by the way, even when I do these live streams, I'm just kind of like, you know what I mean? My mind, sometimes I have to like shut it off because some of the information just gets just so useless. This is why I spend time reading books that matter, informational books, books that, allow me to learn a few new things that actually matter, that increase my skill set when it comes to doing this show or doing other things outside of this place and that sort of thing. But let's keep going.
And I think that incentive is the strongest on Twitter. I know that they're trying to fix this, but unfortunately, to the extent that you have basically this is what I think Twitter should do, because I think that AI and fake information on Twitter is the absolute worst. I think it is the worst platform for fake information. And
yeah, Twitter, I'll admit, X is full of bullshit on there. X is the wild, wild west, so the problem with AI getting better and better is you don't know what the hell's real anymore and what's not. You know what I mean? So you can't trust anything on X. You can't trust the mainstream media. So, yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, you could use an AI to detect if the video's AI generated. And an actual AI can see patterns and confirm if something is AI generated or not, even if the video is almost pristine to the naked eye. There are usually patterns that you can use to tell if something is AI generated, typically. So, yeah, there's that.
And just because, again, it's text message, image, and you can effectively turn off replies. There's a lot of ways that you can do it and have people not really notice whether you're lying to them or not. What they need to do is they need to change it into something like the YouTube Partnerships program, where you don't automatically default somebody a payment option. You don't automatically default somebody a revenue plan. They have to earn that and then have that given to them by going through a series of checks and rigor. Because whenever you don't have that, well, you have, the 900th different anti-Israel or anti-Iran account that's posting images of either Ukraine or Israel getting bombed, saying it's either Iran or Israel or the opposite, right? And so basically that's what I think is really happening, is that people are responding to incentives. They're seeing that basically making and pushing out fake information is something that has almost zero consequences. And I think that this is also, you've got to hold yourselves accountable for this. And by yourselves, I'm talking about myself as well, is that really when we find out that somebody's posting something that's bullshit, instead of asking them to correct themselves, we just move past it. And I think it's one of the unfortunate realities of the extremely fast 24-hour news cycle that we live in nowadays, is that, even things like, for example, do you remember when Obama kind of said that there might be aliens on a podcast and this was a huge big deal? Yeah, that was last month. That might as well have just not happened. Let's think.
Yeah, I mean, kind of true. Kind of
about
true.
The time that Trump obviously released the Epstein files. How many people are talking about the Epstein files now? Substantially less than what they were. And you can check this.
I will admit the 24/7 news cycle does have a form of ADD to it. It just depends on what's hot or not. I mean, right now I'm talking about Trump Daddy and the war in Iran, for example. And, Trump Daddy's kicking butt. Cool. Trump is a pimp.
It's all by Google Trends if you're unsure about any of this. And so what I think has happened is that the news cycles are so fast nowadays that there's never any room for, not only is there no room for corrections, but there's also no room even for accountability. And what's really happened is that people, instead of questioning what they're seeing, they just move on to the next thing. And so there's never any accountability whenever a news source gets something wrong. Whenever they say something that's inaccurate, there's never an evaluation as to whether, was this done on purpose? Was it done out of just a mistake? Was it done out of haste? Why did this happen? And it's never discussed at all. And I think this is a huge problem. And the reason why is because if you have people that are, again, past performance is an indicator of future performance. Guess what? If somebody is regular.
Well, past performance is an indicator of future performance, but it's not a guarantee of of the performative result. You know what I mean? I could have a history of excellent performance, but at the same time, in that scenario, I will say this, you know, it doesn't mean it's going to for sure happen, but there is a predictor, a probability factor that goes into it. Anyway, we're going into semantics on that one. Let's keep going.
Really posting bullshit. Guess what they're going to post after that? Probably more bullshit. So what happens is that people are listening to this, they're paying attention to it, and then they see, oh my God, it's another piece of shit. It's another thing that's not even true. And people they're never able to connect the dots here. And so not only does the audience not hold them accountable, people don't really care. And this is another big issue. I've talked about this before. I don't want to get into it too much, but critical thinking is dead. Critical thinking is dead, and we have killed it. And the way that we have killed it is with dogmatic, ideological, thinking that effectively behaves like a religion. People have replaced, Christianity or Islam with, the Democrats or the Republicans, with gender ideology, with any form of, political dogma. And so now people don't want to go against that political dogma. I think that human beings have a core desire. Like imagine the human mind is like a car, and the car can drive 200 fucking miles an hour. It can go super, 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 super fast, but the brake system sucks. And I think that's what's happened with the human mind, is that our ability to critically think, to perceive our realities, to be able to understand the world around us has vastly outpaced, multiple times outpaced our ability to cope with it. To cope with those conclusions, to ask yourself, well, what does happen after you die? Well, what does happen if you do this or that? Well, what is really the right and the fair thing to do? And people are afraid of these questions because they're afraid of the answers. And what they do in...
Well, Damn, let's keep going.
Instead of that is they look for an ideology that's going to answer all of those questions for them so they never have to think about it again. And that's what's happened with critical thinking. Before, people used to outsource it to religion. Now they outsource it to politics, religion, or political dogma. And so what's happened is that you've had a massive entire ecosystem and culture of people that are terrified of saying the wrong thing. They're terrified of having the wrong opinion. They're terrified against going against the oftentimes manufactured consensus. And what happens is that...
Yeah, people are afraid to go against the grain. Luckily, I'm not. The mainstream media tried to tell me to think one way, and I thought the exact opposite. I was just like, you know what? F you, mainstream media. I don't believe you. I don't trust you. That's the way I look at the mainstream media, man. I trust Asmund Gould more than I trust CNN, and I think Asmund's got some lame-ass takes sometimes. He's a very fascinating human being, but sometimes he's got some lame-ass takes. The same time, I have lame-ass takes too sometimes, but I find him fascinating. I find his thought process is fascinating, so let's keep going, man.
You look at somebody like J.K. Rowling, for example, or even Elon Musk, for another example, or anybody else who's seen as a, I guess people would get mad. I don't want to name off a bunch of other content creators, I don't want to start drama, but we all know content creators that, somebody said one thing that was wrong, they said one thing that was off color, or they didn't have the right opinion about the right topic in the right way at the right time, and for some reason, now they're a fucking Nazi. Well, guess what? Somebody's not.
Yeah, and that's the belief I have is, honestly, my belief is if the only reason people would call me a Nazi or a bootlicker, it's not because I really am one. Well, I guess I'm a bootlicker to Trump, whatever. Anyway, it's not because I really am one, but it gives them an excuse to actually to commit violence or harm towards me. Because if you can dehumanize me in your own mind, then you have any excuse to do wrongdoing to me in your mind. It doesn't mean you're right. It just means that in your deluded head, you may have that ability. You may have that belief. And so, yeah, people don't call me a Nazi because I am one. You know, they call me a Nazi because they wish to commit harm to me. They wish to have an excuse to commit harm. That's the whole idea. And, yeah, and I'm not going to back away from my positions. Honestly, the more people are violent towards me for my opinions, you know, the less I'm going to comply. You know, that's just it, man. And there's a level of dehumanization that goes on in a lot of this stuff, you know. Give me a second here. All right, let's see.
Not a Nazi because they're not seeing your point of view. But unfortunately on the internet, that's the way it works now. And so what's happened is that we've created a culture of fear, a culture of repressed critical thinking, because nobody wants to think for themselves. And how does this relate to misinformation? Let me explain. The reason how this relates to misinformation, like I hope that I've explained, you understand why critical thinking is dead. Critical thinking is dead is because people are afraid of the conclusions and they don't want to come out against the consensus, because if they do, they might get ostracized from their group and then nobody will like them. And
sometimes you got to take that risk. You got to take the risk of not having people like you. I think it's a good thing. I've just kind of, you know, I've been going against the grain, and it's paid off in dividends, straight up. So I will say, man, I'm happy that I'm a contrarian. I think being a contrarian was probably, one, it was an instinctual decision. Because naturally I don't see the world the way everybody else does. And I think the way, I just see, I see things that work in this world and I see things that don't work in this world. And one conclusion I made was, I know what I need to do. I know what I need to research. So I read a lot of books. You know, I read books by people who are far more successful than I'll ever imagine myself being, you know. And who knows, maybe something in those books will rub off on me the right way. But I really do enjoy, you know, I enjoy reading. That's one thing that keeps me sane. I don't watch the news. I don't read the news. I do intentionally avoid it until I do this show. And then I kind of just see whatever the fuck is on YouTube, like whatever latest news is headlining on YouTube, and I kind of just roll with it. And I react to it accordingly. It is fun to do reactions to these videos. But yeah, no, I really do enjoy... I really do enjoy being contrarian, whether it's the way that I swing trade stocks or whether it's the way I, you know, do other things. But even the way I do YouTube is highly contrarian to the way that everybody else does YouTube. For example, when I do my show is done intentionally like an AM radio talk show. I got the microphone in front of me. I'm reacting to things. I don't have any guests on my show except for maybe like Tim Smith on occasion. I'll have people, you know, if people happen to be here while I'm doing the show, then I interview them, that sort of thing. But yeah. But let's see here.
Then you can never wash that stain off because people do not believe in forgiveness. They don't believe in apologies. They don't believe in understanding. The hater economy on the internet is going stronger than ever. The Dow is at 50,000. The hater economy is at 50 million.
Dude, that's the thing. The haters are the best part, Mr. Asmund. The more haters a YouTuber has, the more power they have. Look at Logan Paul. Logan Paul is the most hated man on YouTube, but it's also been to his benefit because people don't subscribe to his channel because they like him normally. They subscribe to his channel to see what sort of stupid shit he's doing. Right? And I'm assuming that people subscribe to this channel to see what sort of things I'm going to say next, and they're going to get pissed. I'm okay with the hater economy. I know it exists. I usually just ignore it. But, you know, that's the way you got to do it, man. You got to ignore the hater economy.
So the fact is that people are terrified of having the wrong opinion, and critical thinking can sometimes lead you to the wrong opinion. Trust the science? Okay, well, I heard the science is 2 genders. Oh, wait a minute. That's not the right type of science. And so anyway, this happens quite often. So we'll go back over and we'll talk about misinformation. Does anybody actually want to correct the misinformation about something that everybody that's, quote, on their side is eating up like a bunch of fucking candy? No, absolutely not. Nobody wants to go and correct the information.
I think it's okay to, I mean, first off, it's okay to question science because science is not meant to be a series of laws, but a series of theories. You know, for instance, Newton's laws were the last laws ever recorded in science, and the reason that we don't have laws anymore for science is because we realized, you know, some of these things that we believe are laws today may be found false later or need expanding upon. Which is why, like, Einstein's theories, for example, were never rated as law, but theory. Everything is just a theory if it's well tested, that is, and has enough scientific data to back it up. But even a theory can be adjusted. So the beauty is in science is that nothing is permanent. I should say nothing is law, but the information is always going to be out there as long as we have records and libraries and, you know, the internet, storage devices, that sort of thing. Let's see.
That shows Israel getting bombed 500 times and tell them, actually, this is from Independence Day. Or, well, this is from a video game. Or something else. Or this is from 2019. And, or Iran, or anything else. And, or like, oh, the new supreme leader of the day has now been killed again. Well, I hear this every single day. The guy gets killed every day. It's the same guy, right? I mean, must pretty much suck. That's the worst version of Groundhog Day that I could imagine. Wake up every day, you're the supreme leader of Iran, and then you die, and then it happens again the day after. Sounds pretty fucking bad, but according to Twitter, that's the world that we're in. So what I think has happened is that you've had so much misinformation, the information cycle, and this is one of the real pieces of, I think, genius that George Orwell had with, 1984, is that it was not necessarily that the news was all a lie. It was that there was so much misinformation and so much information in general that the deluge of it was so overwhelming that the mind of a person could not even comprehend the complexities.
That's true. I mean, that's honestly very, very true. What we're dealing with is exactly what he said, like from 1984. This is huge. This is actually kind of cool he's bringing this up. So I do believe that the mainstream media is the king or the queen or the they them of misinforming people. I really do. I believe, honestly, I think it's better. I prefer to be uninformed than misinformed, because at least when I'm uninformed on the world, on what the world's doing, I can at least focus on things that matter, things that I can control. When I'm misinformed, I'm focusing on shit that's fake. It doesn't even fucking matter at the end of the day, right? So for me personally, I prefer to stay uninformed than misinformed. And to those who say, so you'd rather be ignorant, honestly, if you want to know the truth, I think being misinformed is just another form of ignorance. You're just ignorant to the truth still. Because if you're being misinformed, you're still ignorant. And if you're uninformed, you're ignorant, but you choose to do something better with your life than focus on being lied to all day, you know? So I'd rather just focus on the things that matter. Like, for instance, I focus on doing this YouTube channel. This has made me a lot of money. I focus on my stock portfolio. That makes me a lot of money. By the way, I don't even have to. People say, but you have to know the news to navigate the stock market. No, you don't. You just don't. That's a fucking lie. That's probably the biggest lie I've ever heard. It's a crock of shit because I'm a successful investor. I just buy the dip and I sell the incline. It's as simple as that. When it goes back up, I sell. I swing trade. I mean, 70% of my portfolio is long term. 30% of it is swing traded, and I don't really the news does not affect how I invest. I will always be diversified. I will always swing trade ETFs, small cap ETFs preferably that are globally diversified. That's just the way I am, though. It's just the way I exist. It's the way I do things, man. My bussy. But yeah, the market went up quite a bit today. I think the Strait of Hormuz is probably going to open up here pretty soon. A lot of people were thinking that this is going to be a forever war. I mean, there's probably a week or two left of it. And yeah. I mean, the goal is as long as the Strait of Hormuz is opened up as soon as possible, I think that would be the key. Yeah, it's really what we're looking forward to at this point. Just open up the strait, man.
The amount of just pure volume of it and everything, and because of that, it is effectively the sheer size of it has lulled people into a sense of effectively powerlessness. They can't overcome this. They can't reason it out. They can't understand it. And so they just simply opt to not understand and to just listen to what they're told. And I think, again, this is out of, I said before, fear, but it's also out of apathy and a lack of control. So what's happened is that people are now accepting of misinformation. They don't want to correct misinformation because people, as soon as somebody makes up their mind on something, well, they don't want to change their mind because changing your mind implies that you are wrong. Why would you ever want?
Oh, I admit I'm wrong. I just don't think I'm wrong about Trump. I just don't believe, for instance, I don't believe I'm wrong about him. I believe that the mainstream media loves to lie about the guy because they hate him. I mean, look, I've never seen anybody so hated by the mainstream media before. Some of these reporters, when they talk about Trump, they're seething at the mouth. Seething. And it's just the funniest thing I've ever seen. And it's weird. It's weird how one person can make people go crazy like that. Give me a second. What is it? In on Windows 11. Hold on, I gotta check something real quick. Let's see. Okay, so I should probably keep the microphone volume to... Set the input to 75? Okay, so I think I figured it out. We're going to keep the input to 70. All right, I figured everything we need to figure out. We're keeping the input to 70. There we go. Thank you, guys. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, joining in. Let's go, dude. We got it to 70. We're ready. In the empty space and there's nowhere down.
Want to admit that you were wrong. And I understand that, that's not the way you should think about it. That's nice. That's nice. Go back to Red.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. No, that's a compliment. IKEA furniture, hell yeah.
So if you go over to the real world, no, people don't like changing their opinion. There's a reason why the concept of anchoring exists, especially with sales, but also you're selling an idea. So keep in mind that's the way people think of things. And so once you can create that first impression with misinformation, you can then use that first impression.
That is pretty funny though. Yeah, I don't know. IKEA furniture looks pretty tight to me. It looks sexy, so I would sell it. Hell yeah.
To create even a secondary, well, that was fake, but, you know, this secondary thing is also still kind of true. And I think this is what happens. And it begins a self-radicalization spiral. And you see this happen with certain creators where as soon as they start engaging with other forms of vitriolic, conspiratorial, or problematic content, they alienate the audience that was more, I don't know, normal. And instead of that, they replace them with the people that are crazy. And as that happens, guess what crazy people want? Crazy shit. Who would have guessed? And so then you now have to continue upping the ante. This happens with IRL streamers a lot, like nuisance streamers. The conclusion of every nuisance streamer is jail. That's the way it is.
Yep.
That's how it is. Every single one of them, if you just let it progress naturally, they will end up in jail. Because you start being annoying, and then you be really annoying, then you're confrontational, then you're violent, then you're really violent, then you're in jail. Because you always have to keep upping the ante in order to maintain the attention of the audience. And I think that's what happened with a lot of different creators, and it's what will continue to happen as well, because it's basic human psychology. And I think that there are a lot of people out there who try to subvert this. They try to say that, oh, well, we need to be better. We need to be better. Listen, we were doing crucifixions 2,000 years ago. In 2,000 years from now, we'll probably still be doing them. Maybe we'll bring it back. And so the point is that the human mind is not evolving as fast as you think it is. And at the same time,
now, our technology is evolving. The problem is that the technology is evolving faster than the human being. It took millions upon millions upon millions of years to get to where we're at now, genetically speaking, right? A long time it took for us to get to where we're at now. And it's crazy, man. It's absolutely insane. Fucking wild. All right, let's keep watching, man.
These basic human psychological realities are not despawning. They're not going away. They're actually becoming more entrenched and actually more, basically more compromised. They're being played to. They're being taken advantage of in a much higher ratio because now you have these companies that realize, well, wait a minute, if we can just feed this retard an endless amount of information about the thing that makes him the most angry, he won't be able to stop using our app. And so,
rage bait, dude. It's rage bait. You know, people who are addicted to getting raged out on YouTube, they're just the algorithm's gonna feed you exactly what you need to get more enraged and more pissed off at the world. That's just all there is to it. The algo will send you exactly what you need to get even more pissed off at the world than you already were. You know. So that's the way it goes, bro. That's the way it goes. My pink brony bro. And you dance at the gay club, oh my God. I'm just having fun on the stage in my hooves. I'm wearing a man thong down at the Pink Brony Club. I'm gonna keep on prancing at the Pink Brony Club. I'm gonna keep on fapping down in West Hollywood. But yeah, thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button, though. It really does help the channel grow. TJ says, when can we get kind bait where the algorithm gets us off with kindness? So I think the problem is, so here's the thing. You have to, in order for the algorithm to adjust, You have to search for things that you like. For instance, like cute animal videos, right? So look up cute animal videos and then like watch the ones that you want to watch. Tap the like button on the cute animal videos. And the more that you tap the like button on those things, the algorithm will try to feed you those things instead of hateful rage baiting stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of people who watch my show just to get mad. I appreciate it because honestly, they end up sharing it on the Twitter. They end up sharing it with everybody. And it's a good thing. It helps the channel grow. Oh, anytime you look for animals, you get furries. Oh, good Lord. Well, that's not good. Hey, thank you guys for tapping the like button and tapping the subscribe button, though it does help the channel grow. More subscribers we get, the better. It does keep us rolling, man, at a high level. So I appreciate everybody for taking the time to become subscribers and simp subscribers as well. We do appreciate the simps and the pimps and everybody in between, man. We appreciate y'all.
So now you have these people whose like blood pressure is being raised. It's like effectively these companies are killing people because their blood pressure goes up 20 points the moment they open the fucking app, and they're sitting.
I think that's what might have happened to Brad Latkin. I think I hope it didn't happen, but Brad Latkin was watching my show a lot, and he was talking about my fadey head rolls and stuff. I get it. I do a lot of weird muscle movements like this. Oh yeah, like. I just love popping my back, popping my neck. It feels good. Maybe I need to get a masseuse. I don't know. Masseuses cost money. I don't want to spend money. I'll just do more sit-ups or something. That'll probably straighten out. That'll probably bend my back enough to where it'll pop everything in place. Oh yeah. Oh, popping the back. Oh. But yeah, man, I love it.
They're getting angry, tapping out these little fucking responses, and they're arguing with either a Pakistani or a bot. Well, actually, that's
yeah. People get so pissed on my chat. I love it.
Not true. Probably both. And so what's happened is that the amount of misinformation on the internet has just increased so much. Places like Twitter pay people for uploading it. Places on the internet, like news websites, if enough people report on it and start talking about it, then news websites talk about it, and sometimes they reinforce it, and there's never any due diligence, and if there is, it's like 2 weeks after the fact. It's like this story has already completely made its way around the globe, and now, nobody's even talking about it. And, they don't even think about the correction, because the narrative has already been established and it's already moved past that original, fake fact. And so what's happened, I think, is that we've created a culture of misinformation. Now, the way that I think you stop this and how you deal with it is you have to look at incentives. Why do people push misinformation? They push misinformation, and again, I'm not talking about, COVID or something like that. I'm talking about literal AI videos. I'm talking about videos that are posted as if they were today and it was 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I have no problem with somebody posting a stupid opinion, but I do have a problem with people that are posting opinions and information that is deliberately misleading. And if those...
Yeah, and that tends to happen. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Yeah, I got plenty of opinions, but I let people know it's an opinion, right? I'm not preaching any of my opinions as if they're gospel. Although I do want people to start calling me Father Michael, preferably. But either way, I don't preach any of the things that I believe as if it's gospel and everybody needs to like bow down to my way of thinking. No, I expect that people will have their own lines of thinking and think in a totally different way than I do. So, I don't know.
Those people are getting paid for it, then you can guarantee that you're going to have a lot more of it. Because I can also promise you that fake news will always be more exciting than real news. Because again, the sky's the limit. Fiction is generally much more exciting than nonfiction. I
tend to disagree. As much as I do love fictional things, I love Star Trek, for example. I think also because it feels real. It feels like, obviously it's a fake television show, but when I watch it, I am able to suspend my disbelief that it's just a TV show. And I think that's the difference. Hell yeah. Let me, give me a few seconds, you guys. I gotta check, let me take a look here. Give me 1 second, you guys. Sorry about that. Okay. Father Michael. Big Daddy Mike. They call me Father Michael. I'm an Irish Catholic priest. No, just kidding. But, nah. It sounds so creepy, dude. If I started making people call me Father Michael, like, I feel like it's a Chris Hansen moment, like Chris Hansen should just walk in and be like, I have the chat logs on your live stream. I heard you wanted the chat to refer to you as Father Michael. That's a very disturbing thing to do, Michael G. I understand that you feel it's necessary for everybody in the chat to call you Father Michael, but it's just not. Did you read the age of those in the chat? Sorry, I was trying to do my best Chris Hansen impression. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it goes to shit, but I'm Chris Hansen, Dateline NBC. Chris Hansen's the man, though, dude. Chris Hansen's the GOAT.
Never heard of a single
You force all your followers to call you Father Michael. It's not good. Doesn't look good on the paper. But, shit, dude.
Bragging in real life.
Oh, I saw your text message, by the way, Mr. TJ. I replied to it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I know I got plans on Sunday, I'll tell you that. As I know I'm going to be hanging out. My brother's birthday also happens to be this Sunday. But But I'm gonna see what I could do. I mean, I'm not gonna promise anything because, Sunday is Easter Sunday. I know we're gonna be doing some things. We're probably gonna be going to somewhere. I don't even know what we're doing. I know we're all gonna be gathering somewhere. We haven't exactly planned it out. It's at 6 a.m. Oh shit. Yeah, I don't know if I would be able to make a 6 a.m. one. Wait, is it at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m.? I'm assuming it would probably be in the morning, but 6 a.m. though, I don't know if I'd be able to make a 6 a.m. one. I usually don't even get up that early. But I would, I'll think about it though. I'll think about it. Maybe I would be able to get up early, chill out there for a bit. We'll see. We'll see how I'm doing. We'll see how I'm feeling that day. I'm just not going to promise anything though, man. I'm just not going to promise anything. Because I can't really ever promise shit these days. That's the thing that sucks. I can't promise anything. But I'll definitely think about it. I'll definitely think about it when I'm doing DJ bingo today, around like 6 p.m.
And so what's happened is that you've had these things kind of evolve and grow out of control, and now there is an entire ecosystem of people that are consuming this fake information, and they're being rewarded for it. They're getting more of it. They're being paid for it, and then you have people that are building their careers around it. And how do you actually stop this from happening? Well, you have to stop giving them fucking money, and I think that needs to be the point.
Oh, that would be kind of cool. Yeah, if you're gonna live stream it, why not? I'll just watch the sermon in bed. Hell yeah. That would be pimp, dude. I get to comment on there and everything. That'd be cool. I'll keep my comments, of course, G-rated. Obviously, it's an Easter Sunday sermon, but yeah, no, that'd be cool to watch it from in the morning, just kind of like laying in bed and shit. That'd be awesome. I dig it, dude. I dig it.
Point where you look at it. Now, Twitter has been trying their best to stop this and shut it down, but, I'll give it a few weeks and we'll see what happens. Right now, it sure seems like it's a pretty big problem. But my general opinion on this is that this problem will only continue.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You got the backpack Starlink, dude. That thing is so cool. Dude, I honestly love the backpack Starlink that you have, man. I haven't seen it, but you've told me about it. And, like, honestly, like, I am more tempted to just have, to carry around a Starlink when I'm camping and shit, dude. Although I'm not going to lie, my phone actually gets really good service in most places, even, except for, like, of course, out in certain areas. But, like, hell yeah, dude. That's pimp.
To get worse, but there is a silver lining, and I will talk about the silver lining. The silver lining is the fact that if you're not a fucking idiot, it is a lot easier to understand things, and you have a tremendous advantage nowadays. And on top of that, everybody in the world is developing a general distrust of believing what they see. And I don't know if you've noticed this before, but every single image, even if it's something like, there's an image of, like Pearl Harbor, and, you'll see 4 comments, Grok, is this AI? Well, you know what? It's retarded. Yes, it's retarded. But it's an investigation. It's a level of thinking. It's a level of questioning that I think for such a long...
I think it's good to question the information you're being fed, absolutely. That's the one thing I can say is I like to question a lot of the information that I'm fed quite a bit, especially when it's from mainstream media. And that's just the way I am. Like I said, I've always been a fairly contrarian thinker. It's just the way I've changed a little bit over time, but I'm not contrarian to everything in this life. I'm contrarian to things that I choose to be contrarian to, but I like to make up my own mind on things, without a doubt. Oh man, I may I'm not going to end the stream just yet. I do want to stream until, like, once I hit the 3-hour mark, but then probably going to head out. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. Though we got a plethora of new subscribers today, which I really want to say I do appreciate deeply. It's just nice to have more people on the show, more people watching and viewing and having a good time. And yeah, it's worth it, man. I really I love you guys for being a part of the show, and we got plenty of people a part of the show, and it's a beautiful thing. Oh. Give me just a second, you guys. Sorry, I gotta keep checking. I'm checking things. I got stuff I gotta figure out. All right, let's keep watching. Let's keep reacting to my boy Asman.
Long time hasn't happened. And the silver lining of this age of misinformation is that it's also going to lead...
And I do agree with Asman. I say this a lot. I would rather be misinformed. Sorry, not misinformed. I would rather be uninformed than misinformed. Because at least when you're uninformed, you're not loading your brain full of false pieces, full of false information, you know what I mean? You don't want to overload your brain with tons of false ass information. I think it's a bad idea. So I choose not to watch the mainstream media. Only time I do it, though. Only time I do it is to react to, like, maybe Donald Trump if he's saying something, you know? But that's about it. I don't trust the mainstream media. I just don't. Tiny Lion Gaming saying, what up, bro? Nothing much, my brony, bro. Chilling like a villain, having a good time.
Forward to an age of skepticism. It's going to lead forward to people reflexively just believing that
people are already
this might not even be true.
And people are already pretty skeptical as it is, and I can't say I blame anybody for wanting to be skeptical about the state of the world or any sort of thing, really. So I get people's skepticism more than they would know. Yeah, I'm no stranger to it either. I've been skeptical of a few things for sure.
I think that's very long overdue because people for a very, very long time had trusted the mainstream media. I think COVID really
I don't know how you could trust the mainstream media, but hey, you know, you do you, boo.
If they're saying the things that you agree with, people do trust the mainstream media. And I think the problem with trusting the mainstream...
But yeah, Tiny Lion Gaming, man, I hope you're doing well, brother. We got my boy TJ in the house. He's kicking butt.
Media is that they don't necessarily lie.
We got Annie in the house. Get the pimp daddies.
But they do misrepresent. And they misrepresent in a way that can effectively completely shift the feeling, the intent, the goal, or anything like that. They can shift it entirely. And I think that people would just accept that unquestioningly. And I think that one of the silver linings of the age of misinformation that we're entering into now is that is calling into question everything. It's calling into question all information, all sources, all all primary information, all videos, all images. And I think that now that we've also created other secondary sources for people being able to, say, hey, this isn't true, hey, this is not real, and being able to detect this, I do think that there will be a long-term positive effect, but it will take a lot longer than you might imagine. But hopefully the main thing that I really hope...
Tiny Lion Gaming says, I'm doing all right, Mang. I had a hard lemon soda today. Gonna see how it brews up in a week or so. Hell yeah, dude. Smart man. Get it, my brony bro, dude. Hell yeah. My pink brony bro.
hope for is that they're able to get rid of the people getting paid for this stuff, right? I don't have a problem. I don't want to have people get banned, right? I don't want people to get banned. But if you're posting fake information and AI videos and stuff like that, and you're presenting it as if it's real, well, then you've got a pretty big problem. And I think that it's pretty obvious to see how this is an issue. So again, I don't want to see anybody get banned. I don't want to see anybody get censored. But I don't want to see those fuckers get paid either. And I think that's a big problem. And the more that you have these people getting paid, the more this issue will continue to grow. I wanted to talk about this because I think it's going to keep getting worse, but at a certain point, I think we are very close to the climax, and after that, I could see things beginning to improve, get better, and for the, global internet awareness or the consciousness to have a much larger degree of skepticism, even with things that they believe. And that's what I hope for, and that, in my opinion, is the best thing that could come out of misinformation, but goddamn is it a painful road.
TJ says we hung out live that one night, but would you want to let me have an actual interview with you sometime, maybe? Not just hang out? Yeah, that would be cool to do an actual interview, man. I'm actually I'm not opposed to an actual interview. I think it's fun to be interviewed. I think it's fun to interview. I think it's fun to be interviewed. Hell, that'd be cool. I was going to say, as I'm trying to find times when I'm not too busy. But yeah, I was going to say, if you're in town sometime, man, and you want to go meet up somewhere, we could go chill out at the, we could go chill out at the park. We could go, we could even go to my place, man. We could even you could even set up your camera and stuff, whatever works. We could even go to a bar. Honestly, I'm boardwalk even. We can hang down. We can hang out at the boardwalk just for the hell of it. You can interview me that way. I'm always down for it. I'm trying to make sure I'm more available, but I'm trying. Yeah, we could try to coordinate something. Because like I said, I know that I've been pretty busy lately, and I'm trying not to be busy. But yeah, I've got a few goals I'm trying to work out, and I got to admit, I'm kind of a workaholic. I can't help it, man. That's why I do this show. That's why I do DoorDash. That's why I do all sorts of crazy shit. I have from 9 to 2 every weekday. 9 to 2 every. Oh, okay. So you're. Okay, so you're free from 9 to 2, or you're in town from 9 to 2. But I think I see what you're saying, though. Let's see. Yeah, and it wouldn't even have to be a long interview either. It could be an hour-long interview. It doesn't have to be anything too extraordinary. Yeah, and I could even also put my camera on a tripod and stuff and get the interview and tag you in the live stream as well. But yeah, I'd be happy to take interview questions from you, man. If you wanted to, it'd be like a 60-minute interview, dude. No, 60 minutes sucks. But no, TJ, dude, that would be awesome, dude. No, I'd be honored to get interviewed by you, man. You ask really good questions, and you honestly formulate your stuff really well. So I dig it. Let's see. Yeah, after I drop the kid off to school until I pick her up just to coffee. I love the rose on there. Thank you, bro. Yeah, no, we could just I'm pretty much, me, I'm cool with hanging outside. I'm cool with hanging out somewhere inside, whether it's at my home, whether it's so early in the morning time's always fine too. So if it was to be 10 a.m. or something like that, or 10 a.m. is usually a good time for me. A lot of the times during the weekday, because normally normally I hang out with my girlfriend on lunch around 12 or 1 o'clock or 12:30. So usually doing like an interview around 10 in the morning would be pretty good if you have some free time at that time. So, like I said, dude, we could even hang out at the park. We could do an interview at the park. We could do an interview at the boardwalk. I just love hanging outside. I'm one of those guys that I just love being outside. So, even though I do this show 6 hours a day, I do this show roughly about 6 to 9 hours a day. But I do prefer to be outside. That's why I'll take like 2 hour long walks a day, 1 to 2 hour long walks total a day. I just can't help myself, man. I'm a walkaholic. I can't help it.
So anyway, I wanted to talk about this with you guys today. Thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate it. And let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow.
That was an interesting, very thoughtful video, though, by Asmund Gould. I got to give him some props, man. You know, the one thing I do like about Asmund, does he have some crazy takes? Yes, he does. But I really do enjoy listening to him speak. Yeah, Mingus or Boardwalk, I'm totally down for either, man. You just let me know which one's more comfortable for you. They got a lot of benches down at the Boardwalk. They got a lot of benches down at the park. So honestly, I know Mingus is closer to where I live, but honestly, going down to the Boardwalk is not far for me either. It's all very, even if I was to drive or walk, it's all easy distance. So yeah, no, dude, I would love to be interviewed by you, man. I think that you're like I said, you're a very good interviewer. You're actually one of the best. Like, I know. Like, I've seen interviewers on YouTube and stuff, but I've never met them in real life. But you're a guy I know in real life, and I know that you do a really good job with your interview process. So I'm always excited to be interviewed by you, man. Well, I should say I'm always excited just to even talk to you. Just because I like hearing your insights on stuff. All right, let's see what else we're looking at here. But yeah, no, I would love to be interviewed by you, man. One thing I want to do, I want to try to advertise the Rob Taylor report, man. I was looking at his YouTube channel. I want to see him get a few more subscribers on YouTube. I think he does more stuff on social media, but I want to see him kind of grow his presence on YouTube a bit, you know? I know that he probably doesn't put as much effort into YouTube as he does like maybe Facebook or whatever, but not Rob Taylor. Was it Rob Taylor? Hold on, I'm confusing my people real quick. Hold on. Rob. Hold on, let me see which one I'm making sure. Yeah, okay. Rob Taylor report. Here we go. This is the one, I think. Hold on. Is this the Rob Taylor report? Yeah, let's see. Because he does a lot of live streams. I'm just looking at. So if you guys get bored though, subscribe to Rob Taylor. He's a very fascinating dude. Okay, yeah, this is the Rob. Okay, I don't know why I was confused. I was confusing Rob with some, but I know Rob is the man though, dude. He's on Rumble as well. Heck yeah, check out Rob Taylor on Rumble and check him out on YouTube, you guys. I want to see him expand his presence on YouTube a little bit because he is, I've watched a couple of his videos. He's an interesting guy. He's got some interesting opinions, and I really enjoy it, man. I think he does a good job. And if he ever needed help, if he ever needed some sort of help in getting his presence a little bit bigger on YouTube, I would always be more than happy to work with him. I wouldn't even charge him any money. I don't charge anybody. Well, I guess if I made it a consulting thing, if I had like a bunch of clients, I'd probably consult people on locally on how to do YouTube properly if there are businesses and stuff. But to be honest, I got a lot of experience with social media, which is shocking, even though I hate using Facebook. But yeah. Let's see. Give me a second, you guys. Thanks for being patient, everybody. Let's see. Yeah, man. I would love, I would love to just, if he ever just wanted to talk to me, if he ever wanted to reach out and stuff. Yeah, I'd be happy to try to help him expand his presence on YouTube, though, because I think he could really, really expand his presence on YouTube more than anything. No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Always feel free to give Rob my contact information, too, if you want to be like, hey, here's Garza's contact info if you get bored. I think he probably already did. I can't remember, though. But, yeah, no, I just like the guy. I think he's a really cool dude, and I think he's big on other platforms, though. That's the thing. I just want to see him get big on YouTube just because YouTube has so many opportunities. YouTube, like, legitimately, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. Like, people don't take that into consideration, man. There's a lot of people who consistently use YouTube, and I'm very proud to say I love making content primarily for YouTube. YouTube has been my primary focus overall. But hey, guys, we're at 9,317 subs. Once again, 9,317. We're doing it, man. We're doing it. So let's take a look at
these truly historic events coming.
Hold on. This will probably be the last video that we react to for this particular stream. I'm going to be doing some DJ bingo here over at the Pony Village Mall with my girlfriend. She really loves doing bingo stuff, and I'm not the biggest fan of DJ bingo in the world, but since my girlfriend's involved, that makes me happy. So she makes it worthwhile because she's there, and I love her a lot. So
Fast and Furious. Who better to welcome back to the show than Newt Gingrich, former history professor, former House Speaker, and a Fox News contributor. Newt, great to see you. Before I go into details about what happened today, I just want to play a little bit of Jamie Dimon. We heard some of it from Edward Lawrence, but I want to play the full soundbite and get your reaction to it. Roll tape.
I think people are surprised to find out that it had a ballistic missile and go 3,000 miles. These are bad people, and they needed to be stopped. And just who decided what? Now, I don't know what the military knows. I don't know what President Trump knows. I just think now we've got to finish this thing and finish it right.
So, Newt, looking at this thing historically, as you usually do, is leaving without securing the Strait of Hormuz, is that finishing the job?
One of the last. Here's the thing. I believe, and I'm before he finishes, the Strait of Hormuz needs to be secured. Or at the very least, if the Strait of Hormuz is not secured, at least make sure. Just make sure that the Iranian military has no teeth to do anything to any of the ships going through the Strait of Hormuz. That's all we ask. We the people, that's all we ask, bro. That's all we want.
Lessons I've learned, David, is that you watch Donald Trump and then you try to figure out what got him to a particular decision and what it means. And I think most of us underestimate, this is a guy who now, since 2015, has been talking to world leaders on a daily basis. He has an enormous depth of knowledge, and he's been thinking about all this at levels that very few American presidents could match. My guess, this is not what I would have done. It's certainly not what any standard Pentagon operation would have done. But I just want to raise a couple of questions about language. We're not leaving. First of all, if you have B-2s flying out of Missouri that can bomb you and take out everything, we're never leaving. Second, if you have aircraft carriers offshore that can defeat anything you've got, we're not leaving. If you have submarines nearby that have Tomahawk missiles, we're not leaving. If you have allies who've now decided that they are really pissed off at the Iranians, so you have the Saudis, Kuwaitis, and others, UAE, much more anti-Iran than they were 6 weeks ago. And there's a secondary part of this. A theme of this administration, consistently going back to Trump's first speech in Warsaw in 2017. They want the Europeans and others to step up to the plate and do their share. They want to get the Europeans to take responsibility so they can pivot to make sure we can overmatch China.
Yes.
Now, this has been very clear if you're watching. So some of
The
this
Euros aren't going to, yeah, whatever.
that's going on right now is, Trump, if he could have beaten him quickly, he'd been happy. If he can't beat him quickly, he's going to grind him down. He's never going to leave. We may not have, combat every morning. We may not put any ground troops in. Well, we'll be around. We'll be watching. Our intelligence operation, plus Mossad, plus remember, we now have the Saudis, we have the UAE, we have all sorts of people helping us penetrate Iran. And we also have Iranians. My guess is of the 90 million Iranians, 85 million are anti-regime. So I think the pressure will stay there. I think Trump will gradually wear him down. And I think this is a remarkably historic turning point, but it's on his terms. It may not fit the Harvard School of Diplomacy, may not fit the Council on Foreign Relations, but he has done more to shake up the Middle East in the last 2 years than the last 5 presidents. And you have to give him some credit for that kind of courage and that kind of determination.
I think it's good to shake up the Middle East at this point, man. I really do. Why the heck not, man? Okay, so I'm a little bit exhausted. I've been streaming quite a bit today. We're already at like almost the 3-hour mark on this one. I'll be streaming a little bit later today, probably tonight. I might be a little bit late to streaming tonight, but yeah, I'm just a little bit exhausted, more than I realized. You guys are exhausting me. No, I'm just kidding. I gotta check something on my... Make sure you guys, like I said, make sure you guys tap the subscribe button, though it does help the channel grow. Like I said, we'll be doing a stream later tonight. It's gonna be fun. You better have fun, man. Give me just another moment. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, though, don't forget to tap the subscribe button, as it does really help the channel grow. We're trying to grow as much as we possibly can, and I just appreciate everybody for being so incredible, man. I mean, we got a lot of cool people. Hey, I want to give a shout out to my boy TJ, though. I definitely want to be on his show sometime. So, I mean, I've been on his show, a couple times, whether it was at his place or whether it was down at the, the boardwalk and things like that. But I really am excited to be on his show. I don't know if it's going to be an exclusive. I might just, put my camera. I might just bring my phone with me, put it on my little tripod, so that way, everybody can see the interview as well from another point of view if they want a different POV or something. But yeah, no, being able to work with TJ has been so far really fun. Just, teaming up with him whenever I can. Even when I can't make those events, I still like to react to his videos because I think reacting to those videos brings awareness of some of the lunacy that the left is committing as well. So I'm very proud of. I'm proud of him, dude. I think he's I think TJ's on the right path, on the right point, and it's fun to watch him work, man. It's fun to watch him do his thing. I'm a fanboy, man. I'm just a fan. He's a good dude. A good dude. So I can't wait to be on his show. And I don't know the exact date that this is going to happen. We'll work it out, though. We'll figure out a date. Yeah, I really want to. I actually do want to be interviewed by him, man. I really do, because he's a stud, dude. He's a stud. I love my TJ, man. I love my TJ. But anyway, thank you guys for taking the time. I'm out. I'll see you guys a little bit later, and ending the stream in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap the subscribe button, and let's go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get it on. What time am I streaming tonight? Probably 7:30 to probably 7:30 or 8 o'clock is when I'll probably start streaming. I'm not too sure though, because I am going to DJ Bingo from 6 to 7:30, and then after that I don't know what I'm doing after that, to be honest, but I do know I'm going to be streaming around probably 8:30 once I'm back. But yeah, I'm going to head out and do a little bit of that DJ Bingo tonight. Sometimes we skip out on DJ Bingo, but tonight we're actually going to be doing it, going there, and then let me see. Give me just a second, everybody. Okay, don't forget to pay your rent. You know I'm not paying. I ain't paying shit. All right, you guys. Damn, dude, the markets went up dude, no joke. My portfolio skyrocketed today. The Strait of Hormuz is letting more ships through, man. It sounds like it's getting a little more secure by the day. We'll see what the result ends up being, though, but my goodness. There seems to be some level of progress, and I will take it. I will take it, man. I will take it long, and I will take it hard. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm out. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Fun to chat with you guys as always, and stay sexy, everybody. Mwah. I'm going to give you all kissies. Mwah. 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 Okay, that's a little bit late. Okay, I gotta stop being gay with the chat. Okay, later, guys. Have fun. See you on tonight's stream, you guys. I'll definitely be streaming though, unless I just don't feel like it. I'll try to let you guys know if I don't feel like it. But anyway, whatever. Anyway.